This is what a trick jump looks like in 2017, and this is the hardest trick jump in 2023. What? How? Why? Wait. Ever since Super Mario Odyssey released, people have been trying to push the game to its limits through speedruns, finishing a game as fast as possible, which is a common practice in video games, but with a movement panel as large as Super Mario Odyssey's, people have been trying to jump from a platform to barely reach another run. It's fun, it works. Years passed, jumps were proven, people joined, takes were found. This is the history of Super Mario Odyssey trick jumping. The beginnings of trick jumping. Almost immediately after the game was released in October of 2017, people start finding trick jumps that then seemed nearly impossible. Because of this, some of these jumps were named impossible jumps, and the community came together to try and find different ways to prove them. One of the first impossible jumps was called Metro Impossible. People were trying to prove this jump as soon as the game came out, but it took a whole week until somebody by the name of Gold Pop-Tart was able to prove it. This attempt included a rainbow spin, which is when you press the jump button immediately after Cappy returns to you in the air. At the time, most people didn't know about this, so the SMO community was shocked when they first saw it. Soon after, the YouTuber DJR started making a series of videos called Is It Possible? In most of the videos, DJR would try to get a jump that was considered impossible or very difficult.
See if we can do it. So, okay. I did it wrong, but that's essentially what we're trying to do. We're trying to get on top.
This series did extremely well, as most of the videos got well over 300,000 views. The strategies that the community began to find brought people together, and eventually an organized server for the trick jumping community was created. The main trick jumping server. In July of 2018, a trick jumper named XD Xbox Jaja created an official Discord server for people to discuss and share trick jumps. Xbox and a couple of the best trick jumpers at the time came together to list all of the known trick jumps in order according to how difficult they were. The hardest trick jump when the list was created was called Brunchon, a pretty tight jump in luncheon. The evolution since Metro Impossible was massive. Vectoring was found and used, so did wall cancels and triple throws. More jumps were about to get found, grinded, and proven. But as the trick jumps were getting harder, a difficulty system was needed. Over the years, the tier system has gone through quite a few changes. The system that was first created was for the main trick jumping server and is still being used today. So in this server there are 5 different tiers: beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, and master. These tiers divide themselves on a scale from 0.5 to 10. In August of 2018, this insane trick jump was proven by Ethan. It was by far the new hardest trick jump in the game, a very hard master, and is now still called God. He used a roll cancel to triple throw, a fast cap throw before a rainbow spin. In December, Nashito proved this amazing vault in Mushroom. It was again a new hardest jump. Nashito was using an MCCT, a motion control capture, then harming Cappy and doing a rainbow spin. For some comparison, the Metro Impossible, which was the hardest and most insane trick jump when proven, was now a 0.5, so a beginner. But this jump, its block, was the limit of the difficulty we can find in the main server, since it's a master and a 10 out of 10. The Elite server. As people start getting better, they began to get jumps harder than master, so they created new tiers called Elites. They created a whole new server in April of 2019 called the Elite server. Before we get more into the Elite server, let me explain the Elite tiers. At the beginning of the server, there were 4 Elite tiers: Low Elite, Mid Elite, High Elite, and Insanity Elite. These tiers were not scaled by numbers and they are still being used today. At the moment when the server was created, there were only 10 roles. Some of them are still there, like Vault Table Hopper, True Pole Console Vector, Backpipe, Tree Hopper, or Red Blocks. But other ones got renamed because most of the time they were named according to the pattern. Jumps Founders, Jumps Kingdom, Jumps Type, which was like not the most amazing name for a jump like Boyd's Sound Vault or Ace Range Jump. But all of them were kept in the Elite server. In the few days that were coming, other jumps were getting added. First there were 5 new jumps, and then 5 more, and it quickly became a server with a lot of jumps. The next years for trick jumping. I could spend hours showing you all jumps, but that's not the point. Let's just talk about the most important stuff. The jump types we were able to find in the Elite server were the vaults, the triples, and the yellow drums. In May of 2020, another server was created, the database. It includes all jumps in mains and Elite servers, but also other jumps that don't deserve to be in SOS. Other servers were created, such as the community server, the collection server, the extra Elite server, the 2-player server, the obscure server, and the skydrum server, but I'm not explaining all of them. If they contain particular jumps, they are also in the database. In August of 2020, there were more than 200 jumps in the Elite server. On the same month 24th, Mummy 4 was proven by Wig on Insanity Elite. 2 days later, he proved another Insanity Vault. Insanity that is named Top Step Hardest Vault when proven. In October of 2020, Johnny Koff released the first ever trick jumping community compilation. People sent him trick jumps on Twitter and he made a compilation with them, adding music. This compilation contained 65 jumps. Next, he did other runs for the next month, and other people did some compilations. And then, there was one compilation a month, in which everyone can submit their jump to be in the compilation, no matter their skill. In July of 2021, yellow drums have been removed, considered as bad jumps, and, more important, a brand new tier was created. This tier has the name of God tier and is harder than Insanity Elites. A new tech started being used, and this tech you probably know it, but if not I'm still going to explain it. This tech is a faster NCCT. It was found by Relax Mass, who's been using it since 2019. So now it's called Relax Tech. This tech helps people getting hard jumps faster than without it, but it also allowed trick jumpers to prove jumps that were impossible so far. This tech clearly had a huge effect on the trick jumping community. For example, Mercy proved this jump called Firebro Step, a God tier, and Euclid proved Vault through Captureless God. But more important, Johnny Koff proved Vault City Witcher in June of 2021. There are also of course new hardest triples with True Spike Driver and also the iconic Reverse Poison Pass. Then there was True Cage Cross, an insanely hard God tier. In late 2021, Johnny Koff was able to task. Tool-assisted speedruns are often used to make some perfect speedruns, segments, or, in Super Mario Odyssey, Koopa freerunning for example. Johnny Koff used tasks to prove trick jumps that were thought impossible before. In March of 2022, a new batch of 39 jumps happened in the Elite server. It was a great batch and we waited 1 year before another run. In April, there was an edit batch for the Elite server, removing a lot of jumps. I've not talked about this yet, but of course jumps difficulty changes and removals often happen and it always makes people angry. People count their elites, try to get more than others, and kind of a competition was created. People don't like losing elites, and when jumps are removed, people are angry. At least for stupid people, because if you earn some brain cells, you can tell that a jump that is bad doesn't deserve to be in elite or main server, but just in the database, or that if a jump is easy, it doesn't deserve to be an elite. This was the first huge removals. I was here when it happened, and I can tell I was stupid enough to be angry at the staff. Yet it happened because of the Rolex tech. Indeed, at this time a lot of people were able to use Rolex and some vaults difficulties haven't been updated after Rolex tech was found, so they were rated too high for their actual difficulties. For example, Bubble Chaser used to be a height elite, it was hard without Rolex, but as a height vault, Rolex makes it way easier and it got moved to low. However, jumps still have a Rolex-less rating, but if you do it Rolex-less, it still counts as a Rolex rating of the jump, because if you don't use Rolex, vault is supposed to be yours. I strongly disagree with this, but it's my opinion. There were also insanely hard jumps proven, but I'm stopping here with the hardest trick jumps. In May, a challenge called Coupa Running Trick Jumping was created. The point was to achieve a trick jump in Coupa Running as fast as possible, starting when the race starts and ending when Mario lands. There was a Trick Jumping World Cup in August of 2022, hosted by Ninja Pugs. There was a contest for mains and another for elites. The point of the matches was to get as many points as possible by getting jumps. Chicken PvPs won the main contest and Payo was second. About the elite contest, Mac and Smat won and Wavy was second. In October, for the Super Mario Odyssey 5 years anniversary celebration hosted by Zach207, there was a trick jumping event. It was called the Prove the Trick Jump Live event and, as the name tells, the point was to prove jumps that were found for this event. Ninja Pugs also host this event. In January of this year, another huge removals batch happened, but this time it removed way more elites than all the precedents. 109 jumps were removed, making this removal batch being called the Elite Purge, trying to make all elites good jumps fun to grind and to remove all jumps that were considered as pretty bad, unfun, or so. Another very good decision from the staff happened in January, the merge of main and elite servers into one trick jumping Discord server. The elite server was archived. The other servers, as Obscure, Skydrums or Extra Elite, were also archived since the jumps are also in the database. It was really good for the trick jumping community since it centralized all the conversations to only 2 servers, but especially the main one. And it didn't make sense to separate every jump at this point in so many different servers. In February, a new tier was created called the Top Tier. Top tiers are even harder than God tiers. In the main server, only one jump was top tier, and it was 2K Cross, still the hardest jump in Elite at this time. There were way harder jumps that got moved to the top tier in the database. Then the top tier was renamed Hell Tier, which used to be the name of jumps that are known to be impossible. Another batch was made, this time main plus elite, since they are now one server, and added 53 jumps, the first batch in 13 months. And it also added jumps that were known in months or years, but in the database only, added as God or Hell tiers, such as Colorful Beans, Rooftop Roundabout, Sunday Moon Collector, Streetlight Sailings, Truest Cage Cross, Magma Climb, Water Tower of Terror, Vault Ancient Passageway, and some others. To come back to the hardest jumps, the current hardest proven vault is 1P Abyss. The current hardest proven triple is True Lunge Gap Full Lunging, for which I made a video. Check it out! this was the history of trick jumping. Probably one of my last videos about Super Mario Odyssey for some weeks, since Tears of the Kingdom releases next week. Hope you enjoyed it, thanks for watching, and see ya in the next video.